Give the call to the Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. I refer to Labor's economic plan and budget strategy available on the Labor Party's website. Page 7 of that document outlined a 5-point economic plan. The first point is, and I quote, to cut power bills by $275 a year by 2025. With the budget confirming this promise has been broken, will the Prime Minister admit that his economic plan is in ruins?
Members on my right, the Prime Minister will be heard in silence. And I give the call to the Prime Minister.
I thank the Leader of the Opposition for his question, which goes to energy prices and goes to what was said before the election.
The Leader of the Opposition has asked his question, and I just said that the Prime Minister will be heard in silence. I want to be clear today. Questions will be heard in silence out of respect for the office of the person asking them, but also answers will be heard in silence. And I'll give the call to the Prime Minister.
Thanks very much, Mr Speaker. And indeed, before the election, there were a range of things said. And indeed, when confronted with the fact that when in government there was a warning of a pending spike in energy prices and that the announcement was delayed until after the election, this is what the former Minister for Energy and now Shadow Treasurer said just, I think, yesterday, the 26th of October. He said this: that was a report from the Australian Energy Regulator. It puts it out, not me, and I didn't say it. That's what he said yesterday. Well, that's interesting, Mr Speaker, because this is the very document that goes to the increase that has occurred in the default retail price, which has fed into energy prices increasing by figures around about 20%. 20%. But he said he didn't see it and didn't know about it. An interesting statement. Here, of course, is the document, Default Market Offer Prices 22-23, the final determination of May 2022, and I tabled the document. From the Australian Energy Regulator. But at the same time, here is the change in the law dated the 31st of March 2022, and the bloke who said he didn't see it, he didn't know about it, it puts it out, not me, and I didn't say it yesterday said this.
The Prime Minister will pause. The order. Members on my left and my right, I wish to hear the Manager of Opposition Business in silence. I give the call to the Manager.
It's on relevance. He's had a 2-minute preamble. You should bring him back to the topic of the question, the $275 reduction that was promised.
You may resume your seat. Thank you for your constructive feedback. On the point of order, the Prime Minister.
Point of order, Mr Speaker. The question went to what was said about energy prices before the election in May 2022. My answer has gone to what was happening to energy prices in May 2022 and can't be more relevant to the question that was asked by the Leader of the Opposition. So I'd ask you to rule against the point of order.
The Prime Minister is correct when he says that the question was about 5 points announced before the election. The Prime Minister is referring to the policy announcement and what was announced. So the Prime Minister is being directly relevant, and I give the call to the Prime Minister.
Thanks very much, Mr Speaker. And here's the regulation, the change in the law, 31st of March 2022, from Angus Taylor, who said he didn't see it or know anything about it. There's 2 simple changes. Item 1, paragraph 17, omit 1st of May, substitute the first business day after 25th of May. How subtle is that? How subtle is that? They changed the law in March with a regulation after Parliament couldn't couldn't disallow the change in regulation because we were going into caretaker mode and changed it till after the election.
Order.
What a farce. You
The
have
Prime
no
Minister's
credibility.
time has expired. Order. The member for Petrie, when the House comes to order, the Leader of the Opposition is seeking the call.
I am, Mr Speaker. The Prime Minister's used unparliamentary language toward the Shadow Treasurer and should be asked to withdraw it.
That's not possible.
Well, I didn't hear. If the Prime Minister has said something, I didn't hear what he said. I heard someone say an unparliamentary remark on my left just minutes ago. Does the Prime Minister wish to withdraw?
Mr Speaker, that's one of the nicest things I've said about the Shadow Treasurer.
If I can just remind all— Order. The Minister— The member for Barker— It's been a long week. The member for Barker can cease interjecting. When the House comes to order, I'll hear from the member for Robertson.